I am incredibly excited about tonight. Welcome everybody to the Great Reveal. This has been a long time in the making and a crazy past couple of weeks in preparation, and a crazy future to go after we do this. So really excited. Let's see if I can get this thing clicking and moving on. Okay, cool. So before we start, everybody, here's my ask of you guys. First of all, I'm asking everybody to stay until the end. You can trust me, it'll be worth it. Like I said, this is not going to be crazy long at all, so you guys shouldn't have any problems with that. Second off, and this is kind of the bigger one, and I'm serious about this. Write down your questions if you have a notebook or like I don't know a whiteboard or something. I'll do Q&A as long as we need to at the end of this when I'm done. You guys are all muted right now. It's because there's a lot of people in here, and obviously things go rogue when we don't do that. So you're going to be muted. You can't jump in and butt in the middle. I guarantee you, I'm going to glaze over something way too fast and miss it. If you haven't met me, I talk a lot and talk fast oftentimes. I'm well aware of that. So we're going to get through it. I'll try and keep my eyes on the chat, but if I'm being honest with you, I probably won't look at it that much because it'll be distracting. And then I'll get back to it at the end. We'll answer questions. We'll crush it. We'll do all that good stuff. So, yeah, like I said, FYI, this will not be crazy long at all. But that being said, the filibuster must end. Let's jump right into it. So, who is this great reveal for tonight? Well, for a vast majority of people that are in here right now, financial mastery members actively doing deals, this is for you. If you're a financial foundations member learning about lending, this is for you as well. And if you are somebody that just joined today, clicked one of the email links or whatever that I sent out to jump in here and are just curious what the heck we do, this Zoom is for you too. So everybody will get a ton out of this tonight. So the question then becomes the question of the hour that you guys all have, which is why the heck are we here? And I will answer that with a question for you guys. So, when was the last time you felt like you knew exactly what to do to get closer to your goals? No burnout or confusion about whether or not you were on the right track, just a clear path forward. I want you to ask yourself that question. When was the last time you felt like that? Because for a long time, a very long time, my answer was absolutely never. And here's the main problem that I was facing that I think a lot of you guys likely will relate to as well. Online communities have become obsessed with information overload, right? Years of old Zoom recordings, 500 different courses, things going on all over the place, no idea what you're supposed to be doing. And there's so many people that you don't know who to trust, which if you guys follow me and have seen some of the stuff I've been posting lately, it is very difficult to know who to trust, especially when there's a lot of people. It's no wonder, as Chris just put in the chat, drinking from a fire hose is the main complaint, right? And the more options you have, the more confused you get. And that's where I got stuck. And here was the result for me. I felt sad. Now, it felt like everybody else had clarity, success, giant paydays, connections, and purpose, which I'm sure you guys can all relate to because that's all that gets posted on social media and all people talk about. Meanwhile, it felt like I had nothing, right? And that for me sucked. And I'm sure it does for you too. So, first of all, a little tangent here, but here's a little trick that I learned. And it's that when I feel a certain way, like sadness in this example, I operationalize it. What is it that's causing me to feel like this? What changed? And how can I overcome it? And definitions help with this. So here's the definition of sadness that I just brought up. Sadness is a perceived lack of options. Now, the emphasis here for everybody is on the word perceived, right? It doesn't mean you lack options. It means you feel like you lack options. Now, why is that? Well, crazy enough, more options actually equals less options, which for my math nerds like myself, this equation doesn't make sense, but yet it is absolutely true. And I think you guys can all agree with me on this. And so here was my goal from the beginning with this community. Create a place where this is never the case, right? A place where you always know where you're at and where you're headed. A place where whenever you do feel stuck, there's someone right there to pick you up and get you back on track. And the problem with that is I failed. Now that is a self-diagnosis. I failed at that. And here's why. Every day I see, talk to, and hear people who are unsure where to start. They're stuck on objections. They're losing focus. They're lacking confidence. That's a big one. And plenty more. And my job, the job that I've given myself is to make sure that that's not the case. So Technically speaking, I failed. But here's the silver lining in all that. Failure is inevitable. We all fail all the time because we're humans. It's what we do with it that matters. And so, in my opinion, as long as I'm evaluating where we're at and not just accepting that failure, that's a win in my book. So, even though we can improve, right, a ton, we can improve so much. There's still been incredible success in this community, right? It's only been 4 months. We've had 4 months of learning, competing, struggling, outreaching, and a whole bunch more in here. And it's blossomed into some amazing stories. And here's the result of all of that, which you guys will probably love to see, which is that 21 people have gotten their first deal in the last 4 months, which is crazy. And that's only the ones I counted too. There hopefully could be even more than that. But look at all these people. This is crazy. This is just in here, right? 21 different people in the community have gotten their first deal, made their first dollar, and plenty of them, I didn't count this number, but plenty of them have gotten second, third. You can see Lance down here at the bottom funded 3 EMDs in one day. The heck is going on, right? It's crazy, but I know that we can do so much better. And my goal is for every single one of you, and I mean that when I say it, every single one of you to follow in their footsteps if you haven't already. So this is coming really quickly. I feel like the lead up actually wasn't that crazy here. So that's why I created, drum roll, please. Hit it with the virtual drums. Actually, I already told you guys, if only you were paying attention, which I know at least 2 people messaged me that they were paying attention. But if you look at these posts, does anybody remember these posts that I've made over the last 8 days? And see if there's a common theme with these posts. It pains me. It truly pains me to think that you guys would think that I would misspell or miscapitalize in a title when my mom is an English teacher. I do not play around with this stuff. This was your Easter egg, right? Anyways, without further ado, that's why I created Fundwise. Now, Fundwise is a completely revamped approach to lending, community, and building your own business. It's the first community of its kind to skip the fake titles and go straight to the results, which is me putting my money where my mouth is because I talk about this all the time. The only place where people can go to actually learn the tactics, systems, and strategies behind transactional lending that I know of. And so that means that financial foundations will now become Fundwise free. And financial mastery will now become Fundwise. Now some of you guys are catching on with the little Easter eggs that have been hiding in there. I had to play with you a little bit. But that's just logos, right? We're not just talking about fun new logos. That's very minor. Here's the real goal behind Fundwise. So first off, our old name didn't really make any sense. This one does, right? And I will go into more details on that later. But yeah, the old name didn't make sense. This one does. It makes sense for what we're doing. But the change in the name is just a minor detail. The changes inside of our community are obviously the actual thing that matters and the real kicker here. So here's what you will be getting inside of Fundwise free. Number 1, a complete roadmap so that you know exactly where you're at and what you need to do next. Here is the roadmap for Fundwise free. No more drinking from a fire hose like we keep bringing up, just simple steps. So you will see plenty more about this. Don't stress about it, but this is the roadmap inside the free community. We're adding in a bunch of stuff that I'll be going over. The point of this is for you to know where you're at and where you're headed. The second thing was that we'll be adding lending confidence training. That means no more skipping the basics and jumping into the fire before you have that baseline confidence to actually speak to people. And you don't just find deals, you actually convert and close the deals, right? So we'll be talking about the different types of lending and how to build up your confidence and all of those basics. Number 3, this is inside Fundwise free. We'll be doing monthly challenges, which I'm so excited about, and I'll be breaking this down in detail in a post tomorrow morning, but we will be starting the Fundwise free games where we will be doing scholarships, cash prizes, one-on-ones, a bunch of crazy stuff. The whole goal of it is to get you guys more involved and actively working towards your goal of learning lending, building a lending business, or whatever the heck it is that your goal is. The fourth thing that we'll be adding is priceless unlocks, including a private training that I'm going to do on the secrets I use to generate endless leads in a saturated market, as some of you guys have heard other people that don't do anything say. And so here's what we had before that you guys have seen, right? Here's the old stuff. Shout out to my man, Chris Geddes, that was in there with the getting started with me. We got the masterclass. The lead gen thing wasn't even really anything. It was, yeah, didn't do anything. Here's what we have now, right? A clear path forward. You've got your starting point, you've got your knowledge, you've got your completion. Straightforward and to the point. That's what will be inside the community. And the level unlocks inside of the free community. Well, we didn't have anything before. there was nothing there for you guys. Now we're going to have live training recordings, right? So this right here and the trainings that I do bi-weekly that everybody's always like, will this be recorded? Where is it going to be? Now you're going to have access to those recordings. You're going to have the lead gen secrets like I talked about. And I'm even going to add in a social media roast for your social media, or hopefully you have social media. If you don't, then I'll roast you a little bit more. But I'll give you a social media roast where I'll break down the tricks and tactics that I've learned to convert your profile pictures, your bios, and also just plan out a posting schedule so that you can start generating leads that way. Because for those of you that are inside, formerly known as Financial Mastery, you know that I generate 100% of my leads through social media. It's very important. So I know this was kind of a lot coming at you really quickly. Buckle up because there's a lot more coming. But here's a quick recap. We've rebranded from Financial Foundations to FunWise Free. We're redoing the entire classroom with roadmaps, clear instructions, way more info. We're starting a monthly challenge with prizes, and we're adding tons of huge unlockables based purely on bettering your knowledge and your business. So FunWise Free will now provide a clear path for all the different experience levels. Emphasize community more, give you more of what your business needs, and more importantly, less of what it doesn't. And most importantly, out of all of that, become a place where you guys can grow together. And that, my friends, is just the beginning. Because what about financial mastery? Well, welcome to FundWise, aka Financial Mastery 2.0. Let's take a look inside of FundWise. Here's what's inside: a multi-year roadmap. Yes, you guys heard me correctly, because building a business is not a short-term venture, much to against what a lot of people tell you or what you may be thinking. It's a long-term process, achievement-based course structure that I'll be breaking down very shortly to finally eliminate unnecessary distractions for each one of you guys individually with exactly where you're at. There'll be insane level unlocks, including multiple masterclasses that I personally spent thousands of dollars on, and we'll be adding in some merch because you guys have been asking about it, and I think it'll be fun. So here is the new FundWise journey inside of FundWise. First off, we've got our intro and onboarding, getting to know people, letting them get to know you, finding your way around. Next will be building your lending confidence. This is a huge one for so many people that lack the confidence to overcome objections, to understand the basics, to know what to say and when to say it. Once you move on from building your lending confidence, which there will be a lot more, I'm sure you guys will have questions, and I'll be breaking this down inside the community, but each one of these things will require something to get to the next, right? So you can't just jump to the end of the roadmap. You have to go through everything, right? So once you've built up your confidence, you'll learn to generate leads the right way. This will be where a lot of people spend a lot of time, because when you are learning to generate leads the right way, and you guys have heard me say this, most of you, a million times, if you can generate 10 leads a day, every single day, you do not need a website. You do not need money. You do not need anything. You can have a multi-million dollar, yes, you heard me right, a multi-million dollar business just generating leads. And so when we have people skipping past leads and going to things like websites and intake forms and raising capital, and they don't have deals, it is incredibly detrimental, and it is something that happens every single day. So this will be where a lot of you guys hang out. But once you graduate from learning to generate leads the right way, you'll move on to developing the systems that amplify your business. That's things like building out your CRMs and your websites and all of this good stuff. And we'll train and do that together. Once you've developed those systems, we'll move to raising unlimited capital. I promise you, if you nail those first couple things down, raising capital will be fun and not nearly as hard or daunting as you think it will be. And then we're going to take all of those 5 phases, package them up, and take them to scaling to the moon. And that's where we're going to learn SOPs, hiring people, and turning your business into an actual business if you so choose. So that's the new FundWise roadmap. Each phase, the point of each phase is to keep you focused on the most important thing. No more trying to talk with borrowers before understanding the basics, right? Forget trying to build a website and raise $1 million when you don't have any leads, and you're spending less time engaging so that we can spend more time on actually accomplishing your goals, which is a mistake that I have made. So what does that mean? It means that this jumbled kind of mess style confusion, not sure what I should be doing next, will become this clear 6-phase roadmap going all the way through from beginning to completion so that you know where you're at, where you need to be next. And let's check out what you can unlock inside of FundWise. First off, we have copywriting secrets. This is a masterclass that I paid literally thousands of dollars for that will finally teach you how to write for lead generation on your videos, on your Facebook posts, anything like that. And the best part is that it is being taught by an expert, like an actual expert. So this is Patrice Moore. I pay her to help me write right now, and she makes over $30,000 a month writing for people as a profession. And she will be coming in and doing a copywriting secrets masterclass for you guys so that you can learn how to write and so that Lance can finally learn how to make a good hook on his posts so that people pay attention, right? Very important. After copywriting secrets, we will have the in-depth YouTube masterclass by somebody named Harut, who has over 200 million views on YouTube and at one time literally had the fastest growing YouTube channel on the planet. Literally. This is being taught by an expert as well. Why? Because I am not an expert at YouTube. You guys always ask me about YouTube. You guys know I just post some YouTube videos. They're not even edited. I am not an expert. This is being taught by an actual expert, and you'll be able to unlock this inside. Now, if you've ever felt stuck with any objections, which is basically all of you guys, I'm willing to guess here because I know I have, you won't have to anymore because we now have the objections vault inside of FundWise, where we have video and whiteboard breakdowns of all the objections you face. And if they're not on there, then every single week I'll be updating the objections vault to make sure that we have all the objections in there so that you have a place to go back to. You can feel more confident, right? Going back and checking that. If you get an email, if somebody calls you on the phone, you know where to look to if you need an immediate answer. That'll be the objections vault. So obviously the level unlocks have leveled up, right? That means the jumbled kind of not super great level unlocks that I had before, if I'm admitting it, are now going to become the Q&As, multiple masterclasses, the merch, one-on-ones, and more. Lots of good stuff in there. However, I do have some bad news for you guys that you might hate me for. We'll see. We'll have to test out the waters here. But I do have some bad news. If you're looking at this right side, you might notice that there is one thing over there missing. I'm sure some of you guys are picking up on it by now. And that is no more lifetime free membership. So I understand that some of you guys are going to have questions about this. Obviously, I'm going through an entire presentation right now. So hang in there. But I do want to give a live shout out to Sean LeBaron for grabbing the third lifetime free membership today, right before I announced this, which I think is amazing. When I saw that post, I was like, this is the best thing ever. So hold on to that one. You'll see why I'm doing that very shortly. If you hate me, throw that to the side for a second so you can keep hearing what I have to say. So why are we upgrading the level unlocks? What was the reason behind it? Well, the primary reason was that I didn't just want you guys to be busy. I want you to be busy with the right stuff and stuff that is going to help you build your actual business. Now, how does this sound to everybody so far? Because I know that I have said a lot of things right now. So how's everybody feeling? How is everybody feeling? How's this sounding to everybody? Chris is booing me. It's okay. I can take it. All right. All right. All right. Let's keep it rolling. We got plenty more to go here. So another recap for everybody. First off, everyone's getting brand new courses and materials. That's everybody. Everybody in here is getting that. Everyone is getting new unlocks to propel their business forward. FundWise members will get a new masterclass training from professionals on both YouTube and copywriting, and probably more to come in the future. FundWise members will also get access to the new objection vault, and they will be following the 6-phase roadmap that takes you from no knowledge at all to a scaled lending business with employees. But if you guys thought I was done, I am not, because I have a question for you guys. What if FundWise members also got something that replaced your Calendly account and your Google phone number and replaced needing a TC for your deals, replaced trying to manually follow up with borrowers, replaced whatever service you use to host your website, replaced Jotform, replaced your social media manager? Would that be at all interesting to anybody in here? Would anybody be intrigued at that? If you were able to save time, save money, stay organized, and more, would you guys be up for something like that? What are we thinking? Yeah? All right. All right, cool. I'm glad that some people are interested in this and not me, or else I would have had to stop this right here and it would have been really awkward if everybody was like, nah, we're good. So that's good that you guys are interested in that, because without further ado, I would like to introduce you to DealSync. Now, let's check out DealSync. DealSync is going to be the first CRM made by lenders for lenders, and it's going to get all of the same automations, website templates, intake forms, and everything else that I personally use in my business every single day. Welcome to DealSync. It's your full service CRM. It's going to track all of your leads for you. You'll never have to stress about a follow-up. It'll finally help you build your own brand, which is one of the biggest problems that we have been facing in our community for the past couple months. And more importantly, it's going to be a centralized place where we can all do everything we just talked about together. So here's the real question that I have for you guys. If I make DealSync available and it gave you access to all of my systems, even the future ones as they continue to develop, which they certainly will, it helps you replace the need for a TC. It allows you to automate your business so that you can get your time back. It uses AI to help you generate content ideas, which is a fun one. It gives you customized calendar landing pages so that you can stand out, which I can't wait to show you guys. And it gave you my website templates so that you can have your own lending website up and running in under 20 minutes. Would that be worth $149 a month to you guys? But hold on. What if I added the personal systems training every week to help you guys scale with those systems? And I add chatbots to automate your social media outreach. I add calendar syncing so that you can get your sanity back. And I add automated contracts so that you never have to fill out another contract. And I automatically follow up with your borrowers, overcome objections using my personal words and verbiage so that you don't just have to hear how I overcome objections, but you can literally use my overcoming of objections on your own. If I added all those things, then would it be worth $149 a month to you? Just to be clear real quick and recap the offer here, we would be replacing Calendly, which is $16 a month, replacing Jotform, which is $99 a month, replacing ManyChat, which is about $25 a month, replacing your email marketing software, which is at least $40 a month, replacing a third-party TC, which is $500, if not more, per transaction, replacing your website host, which is at least $36 a month, which is $2,716 a month in value just in those things on the screen. And you get all of my personal forms and automations, which cannot be bought and can't possibly be anywhere else but here. If I was to give you all of those things, and if that sounds at all interesting to you guys, for just $149 a month, I want to see a me in the chat right now. I want to see how many of you guys would be interested in something like that if we did it. All right. We got some people that are dialed in on DealSync, I see. I love it. I love it. All right. All right. Hold on. Hang on to that thought, because I wanted to make sure that you guys were here tonight, right? I told you guys if you were here tonight, it would be worth it. And so if you are here live right now, if you're one of the people that is live with us right now, just for tonight, what if I cut that in half for all of you guys that are here live and drop it to $79 a month? Now, would you be interested? So to be clear, in case anybody forgot, this is a competitive CRM that does not have any of my personalizations. It's $300 a month. This is a $500 a month CRM that also does not have any of my personalizations, just has some AI and automations and stuff. And this is a CRM with no personalization whatsoever. It's just the baseline structure. And even that baseline one is $97 a month. So now does this feel like a good deal to you guys? For just $79 a month. But what if instead, because all of these monthly charges add up. Trust me, I know. I took like 500 of them off the credit card the other day that I didn't even realize I was paying. I'm sure some of you guys can relate to that. So here's what I'm thinking. What if instead of that, I told you that it's just going to be a one-time payment? It's just a one-time payment. So for the access to all of my systems for life, professional website templates for your brand, optimized funnels for bringing in and nurturing your leads, automated contracts and follow-up, customized calendars, replacing a TC, for life, it's just one single payment of $0. It's completely free. The access to my systems, the TC replacement, follow up and nurture automations, the AI generated content, customized calendars, automatic follow up, and more. All $0. Every single person inside FunWise gets it. When you reach phase 4, which we just talked about, AKA when it's actually needed, which is not what the salespeople will tell you that are trying to make money off of you. Because remember, a lack of focus is your greatest enemy by far. And inside FunWise, we're going to focus, right? We're going to focus on what actually matters. So now, are you guys in for a big fat goose egg of $0? Sounds like we got some people that are in. That's good. That's good, because it would not have been worth all this work had you guys not been in. Was this worth building up the hype a little bit? Some of you guys thought I was just going to announce a new challenge or something. Here's the deal, guys. We got to keep rocking and rolling here. So here's the deal. I will literally be building an entire software business for you guys for free. FunWise right now is $179 a month. Then we're going to add DealSync, which is worth at least $249 a month, if not more. And if the math is mathing in my head, I do not think that equals $179 a month. But that's what you're being offered, right? You're being offered DealSync for free inside of FunWise. In other words, I'm not going to be able to keep that up forever. I'm just being frank with you guys. I like to be straightforward, and I'm not going to be able to keep that up forever. So here's the plan. When you join FunWise, that's the price for life. Everybody knows that. So for the first 250 members inside of FunWise, I'm going to wait to raise the price as I'm literally paying people and spending all of my time building out this software company. So the first 250 people inside of FunWise, which right now there's 160, I think. So there's about 90 left. I'm not going to raise the price for adding in the DealSync software. And even though it means I'm going to lose a ton of money building out the software for you, that's what I'm going to do. So if you want a step-by-step roadmap on how to build your lending business, a full vault of objection rebuttals covered in-depth masterclasses on YouTube and writing, live Q&As with me every single week, unlimited funding for your deals forever, and an entire customized CRM built specifically for your lending business. If you're already in Mastery, which is now FunWise, it's all yours, 100% included, no action needed. So those of you guys that are listening right now that are inside of the new FunWise community, formerly known as Financial Mastery, zero action needed. You guys get all of these things automatically. In fact, if you guys actually go to Skool right now and refresh the page, you should see that a lot of these changes have actually already happened while I've been talking, which you could say is magic. It kind of feels like magic. And if you are not currently in what is known as Financial Mastery, but you want to be a part of the FunWise crew, you can go to ifundwise.com right now to join FundWise, which is one of the new websites being hosted on our new CRM, which is pretty cool. ifundwise.com is where you can jump onto it. Look at that. Ra's already put the new name up there. Pretty fun, huh? ifundwise.com, exactly. And I'm not going to raise the price $1. That's my promise to you guys. So to be clear, I'm adding a second business. This is, for all intents and purposes, a completely second business being added to FunWise, that is DealSync, for $0. But I do want to recognize to you guys that this is not for everybody. So if you're just learning what lending is, right? If you're jumping in, you saw a link I posted on my story or something, and you're just learning what lending is, or you're unsure if you want to jump into the entrepreneur stuff, which is not nearly as good as people might make it out to be, or you're trying to juggle way too much, which is very true for a lot of people, or you just don't want to spend any money and you would rather do the lending stuff alone, I totally get that. And I mean that when I say it. I totally get it. That's why inside of FunWise Free, which I showed you guys at the beginning, you're still getting monthly trainings to grow your confidence, one-on-one strategy calls, which not enough of you guys take advantage of, to plan out your business, multiple level unlocks with masterclasses and more, like I discussed, monthly competitions, which I'm super excited about to level up your business and your goals, all for free forever. Because at the end of the day, I want to see you guys win. That's why I have been barely sleeping, building this stuff out for you guys. So let's recap for like the third, fourth, fifth time, maybe. Here's my summary to you guys. Financial Foundations is becoming FundWise free. If you go back and refresh your page right now, you'll probably see that. Financial Mastery is becoming FundWise. Everybody is getting new courses, new Zooms, new challenges and unlocks. FundWise is getting the private YouTube and copywriting masterclasses. FundWise is also getting the Objections Vault, and FundWise is now getting an entire free CRM inside of the community. Now, I know that everything I just talked about is a lot, and I kind of went through it pretty quickly, like I told you guys. So I totally get that there was a lot going on there. So here's my ask of you guys tonight. When you think about how much I just talked about, please remember this. I am doing everything that we just discussed essentially on my own. Not to discredit some of the other people that are helping me out, but I'm mainly doing all this stuff on my own. So please have patience with me with all this stuff. I'm going to roll out everything that I just talked about in the order that I discussed it. So if you go on Skool right now, like I said, you'll already see some of the changes have been made. I will be hard at work recording, publishing, and updating everything that I talked about tonight. Once I get all of that settled, I will literally be building DealSync from scratch for you guys. I have already built out a significant portion of it, but I will be continuing to work on that for everybody. I expect to have it live for a select few members in about a month, just letting you guys know so that you have a timeline, because I hate not having a timeline. And if you haven't noticed, I'm obviously going to do everything in my power to accomplish that goal of making real transactional lending tactics available to every single one of you, no matter where you're at or where you're headed. That is my promise to you guys. But please remember, I am literally just one person. So please have patience with me as I am working through all of this stuff while living in the back of my truck, if you didn't know. Here's a side note for you guys to close this stuff out. And this summarizes tonight perfectly. So one of my favorite things to think about. The best time to start was yesterday. The next best time to start is right now. And this is incredibly applicable to what I'm talking about, because some of you guys might be wondering, well, why didn't I finish building out the CRM, right? Why didn't I finish building out the communities? Why didn't I record all these courses ahead of time? And here's a story that some of you guys might have heard me tell, but I'm going to close out with this story. Back in March, I heard about Skool from somebody else on a phone call. I was talking to them on the phone. We were talking about Skool. He was like, this is a really good idea. I think it might be a good idea for you to do. I'm looking at doing it too. And I was like, dude, this sounds amazing. I was out on my walk. As most of you guys know, whenever I take a phone call, I walk. You should try it. I was out on my walk. I ended the phone call. I went back to my office. And for the rest of the night, I went on Skool. I made a community and I named it Financial Foundations with zero idea of what I was going to make the community about. Literally zero. It was not planned to be a lending community, hence the name, hence where all this came from. But I went back and I made that community with no plan whatsoever. And every single day I just worked on it. I didn't know what I was doing, but I just knew I needed to start and do something. And in the months since then, which was March, so I guess it's been what? It was the end of March. So I guess it's been almost 6 months now, or 5 months. Since that time, we've grown into the community we have today. The person I was on the phone with that told me I should start the Skool community and said that they were going to start one too, still has not started their community, right? So even though I didn't know what I was doing, even though I didn't have a perfect plan, the best time to start is now. And that's why I'm announcing all this to you guys. Even though I have spent the last couple of weeks building everything out and working on it, it's not completely done because I want to start now and grow and learn with you guys together. And that is why I'm doing that. Just wanted to make sure you guys understood that and have some patience with me. So I'm going to open this up to questions now because I am so beyond aware that I just threw like 1,000,001 things out at you guys. So a couple of housekeeping things. First of all, I've not been watching the chat. So if anybody asks something, I'll have to go back to it. If you want to join FundWise, it's $179 a month. I'm going to raise that price, but I'm not going to raise that price until we hit 250 members. Like I said, so if you go to ifundwise.com, I think it's the middle link on there. Also, you guys can check out dealsync.io, which is also linked on ifundwise.com. That's the landing page for the CRM. You won't be able to do anything with it yet, but you can check it out. It's cool.
Hey guys, thanks so much for hanging out for that entire video. If you did make it this far, a couple things to note. First of all the links for everything I talked about will be right here in the description. If you are somebody that wants to quit your job, that wants to add additional income or replace your income or whatever it may be, don't spend money right away. Get the free information, make sure that you're on a track that works for you, and then you can figure out the next best steps. So the first link in the description is going to be FundWise Free, which is free to everybody. I just talked about it in that video. Make sure you join that first, get integrated, get on your one-on-one call, figure out the path that's best for you, and then you can go from there. Thanks so much to everybody who made it to the end of this video, and I hope that you got some value out of it, and will continue to get value out of the channel as I continue to share all of the lessons that I've learned to build this lending business from the ground up in just one single year of hard work. So I'll see you guys in the next video.